Please help me to reach 1,000 subscribers. Make sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss an upload. Alright, here we go. I keep telling myself I never meant for any of this to unfold the way it did. It was supposed to be a single reckless moment, a temporary escape I could bury deep and pretend never happened. But the second I walked into my parents' house and saw him sitting at the dinner table with my entire family, looking right at home, I felt my entire world collapse under my feet. I first saw him on a Thursday night. Mark, my boyfriend, had just blown me off again. He'd been cold for weeks, distant, absent, always busy without ever really saying why. And that night he canceled our date for the third time in 2 weeks. I didn't argue. I didn't cry. I just slipped into a tight black dress, grabbed my keys and walked into the first bar I could find. I didn't go looking for anyone. I just wanted to sit in a dark corner, drink and feel like I didn't exist for a while. Then he appeared. Tall, broad shoulders, dark hair, and that calm, slow smile that made something inside me loosen. He sat beside me like it was the most natural thing in the world. I should have told him to leave. I should have moved. But I didn't. We barely talked, just enough to pretend it wasn't as hollow as it really was. He bought me drink after drink, and somewhere between the bitterness of the alcohol and the anger toward Mark, I told him I had a boyfriend. I told him I wasn't looking for anything. He didn't push. He didn't say anything dramatic. He just murmured, "Sometimes one night is the only way to remember who you are." Maybe it was the loneliness. Maybe it was the way he looked at me like I mattered. I don't know. But I kissed him. And I didn't stop there. We ended up in a hotel room nearby. It was chaotic and emotional and wrong on every level. And when I woke up in the morning, the bed was empty. No number. No note. Just silence and the weight of what I had done. I cried until the water in the shower started to run cold. I told myself it was finished. A one-time mistake that would never see daylight. I went back to Mark that weekend. He barely glanced at me and for the first time I felt no guilt at all. A week later, my mom invited everyone for dinner. Me, Mark, my siblings, their partners. Just a casual family gathering. I almost didn't go, but some twisted part of me thought being around my family would ease the guilt I kept pretending I didn't feel. I walked in, hugged my mom and stepped into the dining room, and he was there. The man from the bar. From the hotel. The man I'd given myself to without even knowing his name. He was sitting at the table, wine glass in hand, laughing with my father like he belonged there. I froze so hard my breath caught in my throat. He saw me. His smile flickered for half a second, then he masked it instantly, acting like he'd never seen me before in his life. Before I could even think, my mom grabbed my arm and dragged me closer. "Come meet him. This is Ethan, Claire's fiancé. Isn't he wonderful?" Claire. My little sister. The girl I'd spent half my life protecting. The one person whose heart I never wanted to break. And I had slept with the man she planned to marry. I sat across from him, my hands shaking under the table. He avoided my eyes, but I felt his attention like a current running between us. Every time Claire touched him affectionately, I felt sick. Every laugh, every smile, every innocent moment felt like a knife turning inside me. I barely touched my food. My mom kept asking if I felt unwell. I nodded because the truth was choking me. After dinner, while everyone was busy cleaning up, I pulled him outside. The night air felt colder than it should. "What is this?" I whispered harshly. "What are you doing here?" He looked genuinely shaken. "I didn't know she was your sister. I met her days after us." "You're engaged," I hissed. "And you're still with your boyfriend," he shot back. The truth of it hit me like ice water. We were both trapped in a mess we created. We stood there, unable to fix any of it. "I care about her," he muttered finally. I wanted to hate him. I wanted to believe he was the villain in this. But I wasn't innocent either. I had no right. That night, I lay awake beside Mark, staring at the ceiling, wondering when I became a person capable of this kind of betrayal. I thought about confessing everything to Claire just to release the pressure in my chest. But I couldn't destroy her world just to make mine lighter. Weeks went by. And at every family event, I endured the silent torture of watching them act like the perfect couple. Then cracks started showing. Claire began venting to me. Ethan was pulling away, acting distant, unreachable. Then she found a hotel room key in his jacket pocket. Same chain. Same street. My stomach dropped. He was cheating again. Maybe not with me, but with someone. Claire sobbed into my arms that night and something inside me snapped. I couldn't let her walk into a life built on lies, not without knowing the truth. So I told her. Everything. Not just about the key but about that night I met him, the hotel, the mistake that never truly went away. She didn't talk to me for days. When she finally called, her voice was cold, distant, wounded. Thank you for being honest. But I need space from both of you. A week later, she ended the engagement. Gave the ring back. Ethan moved out of her life and mine. Mark and I didn't survive long after that either. That relationship had been fading for months. I just didn't want to admit it. Claire and I were trying. She hasn't forgiven me. She might never. But at least she knows the truth now. That's all I could offer her. I still think back to that night, wondering how different everything would be if I had simply walked away. But I didn't. And now the consequences are mine to live with. Please help me to reach 1,000 subscribers.